Welcome to the Arsenal show. It's the post-match reaction of Arsenal's devastating 3-0 loss in the Carabao Cup to West Ham United. Did Declan Rice get the standing ovation or the greeting that he's expected? I'd say no, not really. I thought it was a bit rough from the West Ham fans. It would have been nice to stick one up them. After the reception they gave him, which I thought was there was far too many boos for my liking, considering he's the first captain in since Billy Bonds to win a European Cup. But yeah, it is what it is, and but we can't gloss over what was an absolutely awful performance. And I've just said it before we came on, possibly the worst performance I've seen of Arsenal in the last 2 years. Joined by Steve K. How are you doing, Steve?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. Thanks. Yeah, well, wasn't good, was it? I mean, it was a very poor performance. There's not going to be much, to say about any of them on the, in the side. It was just, it looked like they come out the dressing room. For their sort of like 10-minute kickabout, and they just carried on having their 10-minute kickabout all through the match because they just never looked like they wanted it from the beginning. There was never any get up and go, and in the end, 3-1 is I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great game. West Ham were that great.
They weren't. They didn't have a shot in the first half. They went in 1-0 up. Like that summed it up. Like we started all right. I thought we started all right. I thought Kai Havertz looked a bit hungry. Fabio Vieira was just looking sort of nice on the ball. Reece was being direct. It was looking all right. But then we conceded a goal completely against the run of play. There were no threat before and after that goal. They let that goal derail us. They let that goal. We were completely disjointed after that. There was no cohesion. The movement. There was movement. There were no passes. Then there was passes. There was no movement. The passes were going astray. It was just, in the end, it was horrible. Individual performances from people that will need to look at themselves after this game because they are not getting their spot back come Saturday afternoon.
No, that's a disappointing thing.
Yeah, there's a few.
There was lack of ideas for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's all right, saying, "Oh, this person did this and this person did that," but where was what happened at the end of it? There was nothing. For me, the first half was just a non-half. I just thought it was an absolutely awful performance. It's hard for me to look at anybody on that pitch and give them any props. Even the players that, you've mentioned there that, were on the ball probably more than others, they didn't really, there was no end product from it. It was all sort of like jinking and running and moving, and there might have been a quick burst of pace, but it was just, then it never went anywhere.
No, and I'm saying that was before they scored. Like, so we're talking what they scoring the 16th minute. So for 16 minutes, we looked all right. That's not good enough.
No,
that's not a silver lining. We looked all right for 16 minutes. As soon as we conceded a goal, we switched off. There was not enough players in the team that. I've got to speak about it. Zinchenko was awful today, but Eddie Nketiah, I'm sorry, Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. Like, come on, man. You can't have a performance like you did against Sheffield United, and then tonight be completely the opposite. Like,
same with Zinchenko, really, wasn't it? Same with Zinchenko. Brilliant against Sheffield United, and absolutely, like you say, stunk the house out tonight.
Stunk the house out, and I don't want to hear anyone talking about because Sheffield United bottom of the league. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we're playing. there's a level of performance I expect from everyone. There's a level of performance I've seen from Eddie against better teams than West Ham. There's a level of performance that I've seen from Eddie where he's had a poor game, but you still get the running, you still get the passing, you still get the movement. Tonight, he was crap. Like, beyond... But it was so frustrating because you back Eddie. Oh, do you know what? And then you said the other day, oh, do you know what? If Eddie carries on like this, maybe we don't need another striker. Well, that's the point, Eddie. You have to be consistent, man. You have to carry on like this. We don't want a second striker. We want competition. Yeah? And Jesus, when Jesus right now, you're no threat. You are no threat to Jesus. Have a performance like that against on Saturday. We all know Jesus is going to come back in, but it's something for the manager to think about. It's a question for him to think about. Oh, actually, Eddie's bagged some goals back to back. Oh, he's been playing tremendously. He's continuing his form. Maybe we should keep him in. It happened last season when Jesus come back. It wasn't like what we all thought was immediately Jesus back in the team. It was Eddie riding it out, and it got to the point where Eddie's form just dropped off a cliff. Like, Eddie, you have to be consistent, man. And this was an opportunity to... You don't even have to score tonight. Just do something. Passing off, finishing off. And yes, they were 2 half chances. The header, it's all good. It was a half chance. But that where it was cut back and it's a powder puff toe poke, mate, you've got to do better there. You've got to do better. Because in those situations, that is the difference between 1-1, the game goes to extra time, or we win it 2-1, or like it is now 3-0, where we're not taking any of the chances that we've got. He has to be more consistent than what we're seeing.
But I do agree with what Russ is saying there in the comments there. You know, Eddie don't seem to do it in away matches, and he don't. But at home, he's a different kettle of fish. So I don't know if it's something that he's got on his back, that when he plays away from home, he loses a bit of confidence where he doesn't seem to do well. But at home, his record's good.
I don't know, because he done it against Chelsea, not last season, towards the end of the season before when Jesus was out. He came in against Chelsea and done well. So I don't think it's a case of away from home. Like, look, we have our creature comforts. We are creatures of comfort. When we are at home, we feel more comfortable. It still doesn't matter. I'm talking about the basics. Like, there was a ball, a 1-2, yeah, and Eddie's tried to loft it over the top. It went over the crossbar. Like, you're a pro footballer, Eddie. Yeah, and that goes for anyone else who's not pulling off they're simple passes. Even if it just goes off, like, it's just too much because they're hard to judge. No, you've pinged that over the bar. The volley where it comes down off of someone's header and you've gone to swing it and volley and you just sliced and slashed it. Like, what is that? That's not a player who came in the other day and smashed 3 goals. Where's that player gone? And people say, oh, Sheffield, but there's certain points, there's certain things that I'm asking for. It doesn't matter who you're playing. A striker of Premier League level who's currently in the England squad should be hitting a volley sweet, not snatching at it. When you're going for the 1-2 and trying to loft it over the first defender, why is it going rose head? Like, I'm talking basic. And Zinchenko stunk the house out. The second goal, bro, far too easy. That second goal is far too easy. Now, I will always defend Zinchenko because he's the catalyst for the way we've changed our football. The inverted fullback sends shivers down other teams' spines because of Zinchenko. 4-time player of the month from his first season at Arsenal, Zinchenko. But consistency there as well, mate, is key. I'm not expecting much defensively, but that touch from Kudus, yeah, has been made out to be something from Ronaldinho. You got sent. I'm surprised you're still not travelling, Zinny. How did you get sent so easy from that? It's too easy. Too easy. Steve, well, I need to shut up.
You said it all, mate, really, honest with you. Yeah.
Frustrating times. Let's get on to the player ratings now then. Let's get on to the player ratings. And Ramsdale back in, conceded 3 goals. He's going to be kicking himself. I feel slightly sorry for him, but it is what it is. That's the life of a goalkeeper. Ramsdale.
I do feel sorry for him, but he was poor for me tonight, and I'm not going to get on his back because I promised that I wouldn't. But he looked nervous. He made a good save, one good save in the game, which was a good save. He looked nervous with the ball for me at the back, playing the ball out from the back, very nervous. Could he have had the second goal, the Kudus goal that went into the corner? I don't know. I wanted to see it again, how close it was in the corner, but I don't know. I certainly thought he should have got a stronger hand to the third goal. Poor. Looked like he lacked confidence. But this is what happened, Arsenal fans, when you keep going on every fucking week about Ramsdale and Raya. Because he's came into that side tonight, Ramsdale, and I knew what would happen. I could have put money he'd have a nightmare tonight. And Arsenal fans can blame themselves for it. For all this nonsense that they keep going off of it. It bleeds confidence. These are young men who read social media. And I don't blame. Well, he had a poor tonight, but this is what happens. And now tomorrow, what we're going to hear is, well, get Raya back in. Get Raya back in. Raya's he's better than with his feet. Oh yeah, maybe Arteta. That's what you're going to hear now. And it's annoying, you know. That it annoys me. He was poor tonight. There's no doubt about it. Poor. He was with his feet. I was watching him at the back. He looked nervous. Very nervous. Back, forth. There was no through balls to the middle. He was nervous. You could see in his face he looked nervous. I'll get a 5. Do you know what I mean? I feel sorry. I feel really sorry for him. But he's let 3 goals in tonight, and he could have saved 2, and he was poor with his feet. So, yeah, well done, Arsenal fans, for those who kept having this row around Ramsdale, because I believe he was nervous tonight, and that's what happens. But
Jakub Kiwior.
I thought he was our best defender.
Yes, so did I.
I thought he was our best. I thought he was the best defender. I remember when he got the ball, he was fine, doing what he did. He was trying to, cover Zinchenko, and he moved into the middle. When he got the ball, he was tidy with it. And he wasn't really at fault for any of the goals. He wasn't involved in any of them. So for me, he gets a 6. I thought he was our best defender.
6 for the best. Oh God, here we go. This is going to be.
Yeah, he's probably man of the match.
Let's get to this one. Zinchenko.
You already said it, mate. You're absolutely right. Absolutely stunk the place out. Massively at fault for the goal. The usual, saying like a broken record. Going forward, out of position, losing the ball all the time.
It wasn't good going forward tonight. He wasn't good.
Wasn't good going forward.
A few times in areas where we was just not really. The momentum wasn't really going. It was even worse. It hadn't even really started, and he lost the ball and just gave it back to West Ham about 2 or 3 times. And I was just thinking, what is going on?
It really just didn't.
Why can we not string a few passes together?
But it wasn't just. I mean, he ain't. Yeah, look, he stunk the place out, but he wasn't the only one that stunk the place out.
No, of course he weren't.
There was loads. He's just like, it's annoying when 1 week you see players, absolutely smashing it, and then the week it just looked like the League Cup really just didn't. To me, it meant a lot. Do you know what I mean? I don't like losing any football game. I wanted to go and win it. So I'm gutted we've lost the game 3-1.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted. So they didn't look bothered. They really didn't. They just did not look bothered, because that's not Arsenal tonight. That's not the Arsenal we're used to seeing. 3, back to 3 again. for Zinchenko. And thank God did get Tomiyasu in. And again, we spoke about it a few weeks ago. Now I know why he's brought Timber in. He's brought Timber in to replace him. I'm telling you, you watch. Mark my words, you watch. I guarantee you Timber's that new left back.
I was saying last night about Tomiyasu resting because for the Newcastle, it looks like that way as well.
Yeah.
It's very much like
Definitely
that way.
Yeah, it does.
Ben White with the own goal at the start.
Thought we were poor, mate.
Yeah.
Very, very poor. Probably one of the worst games I've ever seen Ben White play. Yeah, I'm trying to think. He was getting forward. He tried to get forward at times. There was couple of times he got behind the defence and the ball wasn't played to him, which was really, really annoying. But he defensively he was poor. He give the ball away on many occasions. Again, the goal, own goal. It was a really bad day at the office for Ben White. 4.
Can't really argue with that. Can't really argue at all. Who was on my right side?
Gabriel.
No, it was Ben Rama. I didn't even see him. It's probably more. Alvarez and Emerson are probably more dangerous than Ben Rama. I didn't know Ben Rama was playing, if I'm honest, which is quite surprising considering we lost 3-0. Gabriel.
I didn't think he played well either. Thought he was poor tonight. He looked like he wasn't bothered. Like a few of the players, he wasn't up to like usual standards you see from them. In the Premier League where they're at it. For the kudos goal, he was very weak in the tackle. Very slow coming out to block. Yeah, and again, it's very, very poor. I thought tonight was Gabriel. 5.
5 from Gabriel. Jorginho started in the middle.
Yeah, I didn't think. Again, nothing from him really. A couple of tidy passes at point, but when he got the ball, it seemed to go sideways to side and backwards, and there was nothing really happening for him. 5. It's hard to find anything that that many of these players actually did that you can say that they did well. But again, a sort of performance where it's hard to say that they didn't look bothered, but that's really what he looked like. He just didn't look like that any of them decided to come out of second gear at all, and it didn't look like that. He didn't look like they wanted to come out of second gear. So 5, mate.
5 for Jorginho. Next to him in midfield, Kai Havertz.
A couple of nice touches, but not enough for me. Not again. It's difficult when loads of other players, everyone else is playing bad, and you're expected to do something. Got behind the defence a few times, but nothing coming of it. Couple of nice little touches, but enough. There was not.
It drifted out of the game far too easily.
It's really hard.
Drifted out.
It's hard to find things to praise anybody for. It's really one of those nights. I can't really slag him off too bad for doing. He just did nothing really. It was just like you said. He just slowly got not sort of went out the game, and that's not really surprising considering how the rest of them were playing.
Yeah. He wasn't the worst player in my eyes.
No, he wasn't.
And I thought when I first started because I've even included Reece in that, but Reece drifted out like a wet fart. Honestly, Reece started sharp, and then next thing I know, I was like, "Where's Reece?" Non-existent. Havertz started sharp, and then just slowly and slowly, as the game wore on, as the goals started going in, just nothing.
Yeah, yeah. He gets a 5. Havertz.
5 for Havertz. Fabio Vieira.
I thought he was lively at times.
I thought it was
a couple of
what
nice
comes to mind is style, but no substance tonight. He looks good in places, like he hits the angles nicely. He's got great tempers, but there was nothing that came of it tonight. And in recent performances from Fabio Vieira, it's been the opposite. It's been he comes on, you're seeing style, you're seeing grace, and you're seeing some end product.
Yeah,
today was.
It was a great ball for the goal. It was like he split the defence in half. To play that ball through to Odegaard. So he ended up. I mean, it was too late by then. But that was a beautiful ball. To be honest with you, that was like he just cut through the West Ham defence. But we could have done with that, happening earlier on.
At 0-0. Like we could have done with Reece doing that when Fabio Vieira was actually running through at one point, where Reece should have played him through, and instead Reece went for a shot. And it's key moments like that.
He done that as well.
Could be the difference.
Yeah. He done that. Reece Nelson again with Ben White when they were playing a nice little, interchange 1-2, and Ben White running into the channel, and instead of playing it through into Ben White for him to cut in and on goal, Reece Nelson's decided he's decided to cut in on his left and shot, and the geezer blocked it, and I'm screaming at the screen thinking, Reece, why didn't you just Ben's passed it, right? Reece has received it. No, Reece has got it. Reece has passed it to White. White's passed it back to Reece, right? Doing nice little 1-2s. Ben's made the run. I've seen there's a massive gap between two defenders.
Yeah, I'm thinking centre back.
That's it. Full back in the centre back, and I'm thinking just play it in between there, and Ben White's in on goal.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, Reece Nelson's cut inside on his left foot, shot and got a block.
Shoot. Yeah, he's
and I'm like, that's poor. That's poor. Really poor.
He's looking to be the hero, and that's it's things like that where, if you are going to be a part of a Mikel Arteta team, those are like you've got to.
That's lack of thinking.
When you do come into the games, you've got to play into that. You can't be selfish and think, "Oh, I've got to make my mark. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to score scream. I've got to score the winner." You'll get more game time if you do the little intricate passes through balls like that, rather than opening up and shooting. Because it's 1 in every 20 that you're going to turn and shoot and pop it in the top rings. But those through balls, well, you'll get a corner from it. You might get a penalty from it. You might get a shot of goal. Like, you don't know. It's all about percentages, and having a pot shot from outside the area is not good percentages, Reece.
That was poor from Reece. It's poor thinking, because if we can see it, why can't he see that? That, and if there is that still that thought in the back of Arteta's mind, or in the back of maybe if Reece Nelson's mind, about being that player to give Saka a rest, he's not it. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not really proving it. We've seen him play decent. We've seen him have half decent games coming on the subs and said, yeah, he done decent tonight. But when he gets his chance, he never took it
from the start. We do have to see it from the start, and also, you have to be in a team where you play well and you win as well. And I know it sounds harsh, but I went to the Carabao Cup game last season. Reece Nelson played, got an assist, looked lively, had a really good game, and everyone else was rubbish. Eddie was all right. Reece was really good, but we lost.
Yeah,
and that you won't be remembered in those games because you played well. You need start putting in these performances, and we need to finish it off, because that could, in the back of people's minds, is that the reason why? Is there something that he's not doing as to why we're on that losing team? Yeah, he played well, but maybe it's the defensive side that he's slipping on. So you've got to be a part of winning teams and playing well as well, Reece. To start.
Sadly, I just don't think he's it. He's not it for us. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think he's it, Reece Nelson. Sadly, but Fabio Vieira, I think. As I say, it'd be nice if he would have played that ball through to Odegaard a little bit earlier. But other than that, some nice touches, decent. Probably one of the better players out of the team tonight. You know, bit similar to Kior. You know, as I say, he got an assist. So 6 out of 10 for Fabio. You know, you can look at his performance tonight, Vieira's, and think, yeah, we can still see something there. Do you know what I mean from you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You still, you still can see the confidence on him. He didn't give the ball away much at all, you know. But just say we just need a little bit more from him, sort of like in the final third, you know, on more occasions rather than just. But yeah, but give him a 6 anyway.
Simon says embarrassing tonight from the manager. Another competition thrown away. The starting 11 was a joke. We never take it seriously, this competition. Russ says one word: disgusting. And he can't do it away. And then Shani says, I felt like watching Spurs under 10s. Yeah, it was not good. It was we got bullied as well. To be fair, that's the first time I've seen that in a long while. Arsenal actually get bullied. Trossard started on the left, didn't he?
I thought he was awful. I don't remember nothing from him. You know, there was no penetration. There was there was a game a little while ago where, similarly, he stunk the place out, and he weren't far better tonight. I really thought he was poor. I don't remember anything that he did of any note at all. He was sort of, whoever was marking him on that right there, I think sort of had him in his pocket. He was finding it hard to get behind them into channels. He was there was nothing from our front three, nothing at all night long. It was all bits and pieces, and I'm not too sure if he done the cross for Eddie when he got the shot in. I don't know if that was him or not. I don't know. But not enough for me. Again, it's frustrating because you want these players to come along and, you know, give Mikel Arteta something to think about. But, you know, he's certainly not given them anything to think about for Newcastle, has he? Because those players sitting on that bench will all be starting against Newcastle, you know, and there'll be about 6 of them who won't. Yeah. So, 4 for Trossard, not great.
4 for Trossard. 4 for Trossard. Eddie.
Yeah, well, you've sort of like said what you had to say about Eddie. Agree with the majority of it, mate. Wasn't great night from Eddie. The only thing I will give Eddie is that the actual service to him was a bit poor. That was hard. The couple of chances he did have, he should have done better with.
I think the header was. Do you know what I mean? It's a tight angle. He's got his head round. He got the old neck muscles on it. It's just gone past. For me, that was probably more encouraging. But you've got to do better on that other one. It's cut back into the box. For me, it's not an easy shot, but he has the craft to be able to know that with the ball running there, it's one of them. You're running at it. It's a little toe poke round the corner, so you're going to just toe poke it into the front post. Get a little stab on it. Do you know what I mean? Use your angles. You're a pro, and not just a pro. Your game is a goal scorer. Now he's got to a level where he's finding it slightly harder to put it in the back of the net, and I'm sure as he gets older, he'll become more of a goal scorer. But Eddie Nketiah is a goal scorer. We're talking about England under 21 record goal scorer. Youth League under 23s record goal scorer. Eddie Nketiah. He's a bagsman. So why are you not using your craft in these games? Why are you inconsistent? Why are you
I think that's Eddie, though, isn't it? He seems to be inconsistent, doesn't he? Especially in away games. You know, we know Eddie's got the fight. We know he don't give up. He does have bad games, and there are games when he should be better. And everyone has bad games. But look, I like Eddie. I mean, I do. I mean, he wouldn't surprise me one bit if he scores on the weekend.
It wouldn't.
So do you know what? I'm very sort of like, I agree with what you said, but as far as me, I'm like very wary of sort of like going at him too much, because he always comes back to sort of prove you wrong. There was a time a few weeks ago when I started to waver a little bit, and I was starting to think, is he the man? Is he the guy?
Steve,
and then he goes and smashes in an action.
But the problem is, why has it taken 3 weeks? We can't be in a situation where we've watched Eddie for 3 weeks and he's not bagged a goal or he's not done anything significant. Now, Eddie Nketiah, all he has to do for me, put in an honest performance, get stuck in, press, and then that's the basis where I'm not even going to have a go at you. Because that's what you want. That's what Mikel Arteta wants from his forwards. He wants someone who's going to either bring players into play by dropping in deep, or he wants a pressman, someone who's going to press, put the pressure on, and then we're going to score from the mistakes that defenders makes from him putting the press on. I didn't see that tonight. I didn't see it. I didn't see that. I didn't see a striker. I just didn't see it. There was some bits about Eddie's game tonight which I've not seen. It was just rough. Rough.
Yeah,
you said it earlier on when you were speaking about the team as a whole, it felt like they didn't care.
Yeah, it felt like that.
Felt like from Eddie. And I'm sure it's not what Eddie plays like, because that's not his game. But it was the shot that he snatched at, which was like, why are you even snatching at that? You're not under too much pressure. Like, the ball's coming. If anything, the defender should be under pressure because he's running towards you and you've got your eye on the ball and you're about to smash it on the volley, which could be his leg. Like, but no, you're just hacking at it. Oh, it was just so frustrating.
I think you said the word there. I think you said the right word. Frustrating.
Yeah,
because I think me and you especially, we both know what he's capable of.
Yeah,
you know, we know what he can do.
It's also we spoke about it yesterday. Yeah, but it's Sheffield United. Yeah, but it's this. And now those comments are vindicated off of this performance. Now we know they're not right, but that's what's going to come out. And now we have to go and defend Eddie and say, no, he does it against this team. He does it against that team. But this is what you get. Because in games like this, it's West Ham. It's a Carabao Cup. It's not even an FA Cup. West Ham ain't that kind of cup team in this Carabao Cup. So take the opportunity, and it's like, nah. Now we've got to go and defend Eddie again when people are like, oh yeah, no. See, it was Sheffield United. Eddie ain't the level. He ain't got it. It's just frustrating.
It's a very strange performance. It was a very strange performance, mate. You know, the more I think about the game tonight, it really did feel like that this is so low down on the on the agenda of what we want to do this season. It was like, I don't really care. Oh, we're out.
Yeah,
and that is we've played. Me and you have played football all our lives. We've watched all our football all our lives. We've been involved in it all our lives, and you know we're good enough. You know that gives us sort of, I would have thought, been able to judge. You know, when you watch our team and you watch them play, and you know we've watched them play ever since we was kids, and you know you look at that. And especially recently, over the last 3-4 years, and you look at that, and you do feel like as if they generally, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd gone into that dressing room tonight and thought, "Well, fuck it, I don't really give a shit anyway." That's that. I don't. I mean, I bet you the fans don't feel like that. I don't feel like that. I'm gutted we're out. But after that performance and watching them, that's how I can imagine them being. Because
I don't like it. I don't like that. We want to fight on all fronts. Go on.
Just Mikel Arteta as well. He wasn't actually screaming and shouting on the touchline, was he? He was just relaxed and sitting back and like, you know.
Yes, Simon mentioned about the starting lineup, but I don't. We picked a starting lineup yesterday, which we felt was good enough to give West Ham a game. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And the team that was out today should have been more than good enough to give West Ham a game. Like,
yeah.
What, are you telling me you're starting Saliba? You're starting Saka? In a Carabao Cup game on a Wednesday when you've got Newcastle on a Saturday? That's ludicrous. Because if Saka gets injured and Saliba gets injured, you are down the Emirates with your pitchforks and lanterns asking Mikel Arteta why he's playing two of our best players in a Carabao Cup game on a Wednesday when we've got a game on Saturday. So let's not pretend that team would have been too much.
You can't win,
Yeah, let's not pretend the team would have been too much different, because it wouldn't be. Who would you have brought in? Maybe started Declan Rice? But like, who are you starting in these positions? Like, because you're not starting Saka. Trossard is the other option. Smith Rowe was out injured. Vieira's the other option to Odegaard. Odegaard was not playing the other day because he's got a niggling injury. So, again, do you play him against West Ham? You just don't. You just don't. So, I understand the frustration, but I don't think there was too much. I don't think anyone picks this team before the game and picks too much of a different team than that. One or two positions, yeah. But other than that, who else you playing?
The only other player didn't play was you might have played was Emil Smith Rowe, but he looks like he's out for like about 6 weeks now, which is worries me. That does.
He's a knee injury, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's going to be out for the foreseeable. Put it that way. Do you know what I mean? He won't be involved for the next few weeks.
I wonder if there was part of his game the other day and he just tried to play through it. It'd be interesting to see when he actually felt that. Eddie,
funny enough, we've just spent a long time in Eddie. We sort of lambasted him a little bit, but he wasn't the worst player. I didn't think
he weren't. He weren't. I just wanted more. It just frustrated me. Frustrated the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Joe Willock scored the third goal against Man United. They lost 3-0 to Newcastle United at Old Trafford. So there is
you could always rely on Man United for being worse.
Always look on the bright side of life. There we go.
The holders are out. The holders are out.
The finalists of last year, 3-0 at Old Trafford.
I must admit,
head is on the chopping block, surely.
100%. I would have been more disappointed if it was a league game. We lost 3-1 at West Ham.
Oh yeah, 100%. It would. This pod would have been ferocious. We'd have been fuming.
I'm half like I was like sitting there with the missus, and obviously and West Ham fans. You can just imagine, can't you?
Oh,
and like I was, and I was just like, just sitting there. But and I mean, even they were shocked at the booing for Rice. That they was like, that's absolutely disgraceful. First of all, they said it was sitting there, and it was like, oh, it's not too bad, it's just a few. But then it started getting really loud, and I said, that's more than a few.
No, so I was watching it.
That's disgraceful.
And Alan Smith's gone, oh, it's easy for them to clap when you're 2-0 up. And I'm like, what?
What clapping?
No, they're booing. What are you talking about clapping? All I can hear is boos. And then who was the other co-commentator? She turned around and said, the boos are starting to get louder. That surprised me. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Is that what you represent? That's poor. That's a poor showing, that is.
Well, I said to that. I mean, I said to them, I said, that surprised me, that is. And they went, It ain't surprised me actually. I said I expected it, but I don't know. I think it's poor after what he done from them. Those that did boo, that's a disgrace. That's awful. That's do you know what I mean? We'd never. I mean, look, we say that Arsenal fans, we've done it. I suppose we did it to Cesc Fabregas, which I thought was an absolute disgrace as well. So
although again, slightly different. We didn't do it to Thierry Henry. We didn't do it to Patrick Vieira. We didn't do it to. There's many players we didn't do it to. And there's certain players you did do it to. Robin van Persie. I don't think he would ever be forgiven, no matter how much he wants to tell a story.
No, that was a naughty one. That was
Cesc Fabregas. Now he will be forgiven, but it still hurt because we took him up to the point where we just got him at his peak, and then he left. And it was like, and the thing is, it was out of the blue. It wasn't even like Henry's, where it was like, oh, he's off in a couple of seasons, or Vieira's where he was trying to leave, couldn't leave, and then stayed, and then left. He was like, all right, it's about time he did leave in the end. Cesc was like, he went to the World Cup, came back, and there was talk of him leaving. Pepe Reina sticking a Barcelona shirt on him. Like, what is that about? You don't even play for them either, mate. You're playing for Liverpool at the time. What's going on? Doing a scouting job for Barcelona. That's why I think it hurt with Cesc Fabregas. And his last season was rubbish, if I'm honest. Terrible.
Yeah.
He weren't in it. So I think that's why Cesc, and I think that's why now the fans are probably forgiven him. But Van Persie just there. Yeah.
And I love Van Persie. He's one of my favourite Arsenal players. That hurt.
Honestly, my brother knew how much it hurt. Yeah, he's a Man United fan. He bought me a signed Robin van Persie shirt after he went to Man United.
That's nasty, man.
Honestly, I used to tell people how good Robin van Persie was, and they were like, nah, I mean, he's all right. Nah, and then when he went to Man United, they were like, oh my God, kids, now I know what you're talking about. This geezer's world class. He's unreal. Yeah. And then you saw other fans go, oh, since he's gone United, he's a better player. No, he's not.
He was never as good. He was never as good as Man United. They will say that because they won him the title. Because if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have won the title. He won it for them. Yeah. Right. So, they got Arsenal to thank for that title. But Van Persie at Arsenal was streets ahead how good he was than he was at Man United. 100%. They just didn't recognise him because Arsenal was full of great players at the time when he was there as well.
Yeah, but, and I just don't. Maybe. It's a fair point. It's a fair point when you've got a lot of technically gifted players. Someone who's doing the technical bits and the skills is maybe not going to shine as much. But you stick him in a bunch of ogres and lumps next to Marouane Fellaini, he's going to look like a world beater. Declan Rice.
Yeah, when he come on, as I say, poor reception. I feel sorry for him, Declan Rice, because I bet he may hope he don't feel a bit gutted. But that hopefully we come back to autumn. We've got to play him again. We've got to play him soon. He'll score and. And hope he celebrates this time. Yeah. I hope he does. And I think he might actually after that. Yeah. But, he come into the game. He found it hard to get into it. But even then, you could tell that, when he got the ball, he was getting rid of something that he was doing that Jorginho wants, getting the ball, and then sort of feeding it in quick to the forwards, like straight away, winning the ball, bosh, quick, go. And that was something that wasn't happening when, Jorginho was on the pitch.
Yeah.
It was a lot slower, slower transition. He did well, 6. For a substitute 6.
Odegaard, Martinelli and Saka will come at the time.
Yeah, Martinelli and Martinelli 5. Saka... he tried to do a few things. He was probably on the ball a bit more, running at defenders, just what Saka does. 5 as well. probably did a little bit more than what Martinelli did, but as I say, we don't do halves.
Yeah,
he wasn't as good as Rice. So
I think with Saka, I was a little bit more encouraged by Saka because I thought that it's the first time I've seen him actually run at players, and he looked sharper, which is it's good going in for Sunday because over the last few weeks he's not looked sharp. He's looked quite flat. So it was good to see him come off and be a bit hungry. Looked like he wants to take someone on. Odegaard got the goal as well.
Odegaard was good when he came on. I thought he looked lively.
Again,
which was good. Yeah, the rest. So that bodes well for Saturday early evening. He looked good. Lovely one little ball to him from Vieira that, Odegaard running into the channels. Great finish. Lovely finish into the corner.
Yeah.
No one celebrated. I never celebrated. I just sat there.
I did because I'm petty and I didn't like the way West Ham booed Declan Rice, so I celebrated because I was like, they don't deserve a clean sheet. It was annoyed me. So I was like, I'm glad they scored because they can't come away with a clean sheet.
Yeah, I suppose we've got to give them a 7, haven't we, really? As you say, he looked lively when I come on, just as lively as what Saka was in and he got a goal. So, which was great. So, give him a 7. But man of the matches tonight, I think you're probably looking at Jacob Kior and Kior and maybe Vieira
with a 6.
But that is that's a poor man of the match. Do you know what I mean? Arteta. Yeah. The team. It wasn't a bad team, was it? Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a bad team. You can't argue with a team really.
He's got to get them motivated.
They just the motivation wasn't there. He didn't look motivated on the sidelines, like I said earlier. Just he didn't seem himself. So I do wonder how much this game actually meant to him. I think it did give the smell of like, oh yeah, we're out of that. That's good. We can put that to bed. But there's what's annoying. We want players to get game time, and that's another competition that we ain't going to be able to give players game time in. So that's going to be annoying. You look at the goalkeeper. You look at Ramsdale now. I mean, if he's the League Cup goalkeeper, and all it is now is the FA Cup, and other than that, you ain't going to see him.
That's the thing. That's what worries me. Is like we're not even in this cup competition now, and it's like you've reduced an opportunity for more players to get game time. These players aren't going to get Champions League minutes because we've already lost that game in the Champions League. Like it's a cup where you can get games and there's a bit of glory after a few wins. You get to go to Wembley. It adds a shine to the season.
Yeah,
like,
I give Arteta a 5 tonight, but Ramsdale's. Do you know what I mean? That's done him no good tonight, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's his confidence must be on the floor. Where his head must be. I feel sorry for him. What's going to happen with him now going forward? I don't know. It doesn't bode well, does it? Because you can't have both those goalkeepers at the club. I just don't think you can.
Not long term, you can't. First goal gets disallowed if there's VAR. He's fouled there. There's no two ways about it.
Do you think he would have got you there? Do you think he would have got to it?
Yeah.
You think he would have?
I don't think it really matters when you're pulling the goalkeeper when you're pulling someone's shirt that much. Like you've impeded you've stopped him from getting the ball, and it's not just that. It's not just about will he get the ball. It's about because you've pulled him, his focus isn't now on shouting for the ball, claiming the ball, clearing his areas, getting his positioning, setting his feet. He gets none of that because his shirt's been dragged back and he's trying to get the geezer off the shirt. Literally, and the thing is, it was a game plan, which we need to be liven up about. And because look, certain teams. Yeah, you've got to be wiser. Certain teams. When I was playing, I knew certain teams. So I knew when Fleet Down came down, you have to be crafty because they're a team from a council estate. They're all a bunch of mates. They bring the crowd down, and they're gritty and dirty. So any opportunity where they can get one over you, stamp on your feet, elbow you, grab your nuts, they're going to do it. What do you do on every corner? Ref. You get the ref's attention. Keep an eye, ref.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This is me. I'm not pro, but I knew little things to do to stop things from happening. Think 2 steps ahead. Ramsdale, you've got to be craftier than that.
Did you think you looked nervous tonight? Did you think you looked nervous?
I don't think he looked too nervous. I don't think some of the personnel helped in terms of positional sense in being able to play out. But yeah, no, look, we watched Raya wait until he was being closed down within a half inch of his life, and then a ball got shut down and hit the side nettings. So those parts of the game, Mikel Arteta is asking for you to wait until a player comes in. Who looks comfortable in those positions? Because not even Raya looks comfortable in those positions. Even he was stretching for the Alaves, and that's his game.
Unless you had Edison, who'd probably nutmeg you.
The third goal, it's one of them. I think it's taken a deflection. He's not expecting it. It's always gonna look bad. The second one, I can't remember if he had an opportunity to get close to it, but I can't get past the Zinchenko absolutely being sold. And the thing is, it's not as if the touch where he's hit on the outside of his foot, it's not as if it went out, span back, and just sat there. It went so far wide. And Zinchenko was still going. It was just like, oh.
We know he's poor defensively, mate. We know he's poor defensively. This ain't like
we expect better than that. There's still levels to it.
But he continuously performs bad defensively, doesn't he? You know, more often than not. You know, we question his defensive abilities
because we've got 70-80% possession.
Yeah, I mean, if Kieran Tierney's playing tonight in that position, that ain't happening.
Yeah,
you know, you ain't getting that. Yeah, I mean, there's still a chance Kieran Tierney could be wearing an Arsenal shirt again. You know, that's still possible. You know, he could come back on loan next season. Could come back into the side.
Let's do a little loan watch for next week's show. Thank you very much for everyone who's watched tonight. Got some new people. Sergio, good to see you. Thank you very much. Make sure you press that subscribe button. Everyone else who's in there tonight, make sure you press that subscribe button. Press that share button. Press the copy button. And it all helps the algorithm. If you are a regular, press that like. And yeah, thank you for getting in the comment section, Si, Shiny, Russ, and Sergio. Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's not been the greatest of nights. So yeah, but it's, as always, it's always good to support the Arsenal. Look, this is hope we go to Newcastle. You know, we can put this behind us. We beat Newcastle, get a good result, then this game will probably be out the window and we won't be thinking of it. But yeah, apart from that, press. If we think we're going to beat Newcastle this weekend, anybody who watches in the show or after the show tonight, press that like button.
Yes.
If you don't press that like button, right, then it means that you think Arsenal's going to lose. So let's see how many likes we can get.
If you think Arsenal are going to lose, press the subscribe. If you think Arsenal are going to win, press the like.
Press the like.
There we go. There we go.
Do that now.
Smash the like. Smash that like. All right. Make sure you join us straight after the game on Saturday at 7 o'clock for the post-match reaction and player rating show. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.